Greetings and welcome to this week's Still Ripples YouTube video. It's the first one that we've done.
Yes, first one we've ever done. Still Ripples is a podcast, and so this week we decided to actually move it from sound now to video as well.
Yeah. By the way, I'm Greg.
I'm Brian.
And I'm sure you guys have seen us or heard us on the podcast. We've been doing this for a little bit over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
And like Brian said, we wanted to move it into a video format so that you can get it feels a little more interactive. Plus, YouTube is kind of blowing up right now. So we figured we would do this, which it's part of Still Ripples, but we call it Skipping Stones because...
well, it's more of an apologetics feel to what we do on the podcast. This allows us to get more questions and stuff, and it allows us to actually present more topics based upon what other people suggest.
Yeah. So, because this will be in the YouTube world, you can actually post your questions down in the comments section there, and we'll, pick out one or two and answer those as these videos press on and continue. So, without further ado, Brian, what are we going to be discussing for the first few ones?
Well, for our first topic, I felt that it would be good to talk about worldviews and everything. We know that a worldview, basically that's what people are going to ask. They're going to be, hey, what's a worldview? But a worldview is basically sort of a lens about in which you use to view reality. Everybody has a worldview, and there's basically three major worldviews. There is atheism, there's pantheism, and then there's theism. Which we know atheism, you don't express any sort of belief in a divine figure of any sort. Pantheism, there's this expression that all is God. The universe is God. We're expressions of God and all that. And then there's theism, which, under it falls the concept of one God and everything. Going back to atheism, we have beliefs like Taoism. We have beliefs like Jainism, secular humanism. Under pantheism, you have beliefs like Hinduism, New Ageism, and Zen Buddhism, which some aspects of Buddhism can actually fit under atheism, but Zen Buddhism in particular is pantheistic. Then you have theism, which includes Judaism, Islam, and Christianity.
Yep. And so, kind of one of the neat things that we're doing here, as Brian mentioned, the lenses that people view the world in. These are the three basic. Yes, there are a lot more, but really when you get down to the bare basics of each one of these, you can see that they fall under one of these three categories. Yeah. So we're not limiting, per se, how many there are. These are just key factors, because each one sets their own grouping of beliefs and the way that they view what Brian's going to mention are the key factors and how they see those, and that's really what defines these views.
Exactly. See, a worldview has to answer or provide an answer to four basic ideas. These ideas include origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. Now, going back to meaning for just a brief moment, meaning can actually be broken down into two, which are purpose and value. But basically, what we're going to cover in these following podcasts is how each one of these handles the topics of origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. And then we're going to show you which one we believe to actually hold the truth. And that's another thing, just skipping back to worldviews real briefly, we know that, what is a worldview? We said it was a lens, right? Well, what does a lens require? It requires light in order for it to work and for someone to see, right? And so we're going to call this light, of course, truth. And so which of these actually holds the truth? Yeah,
and one of the really cool things about segueing in with the truth, if you go to our podcast, look us up on iTunes, and it's Still Ripples. You can also go to our website, www.stillripples.org, and you can get the Great Awakening, or basically we called it the Awakening, and it goes into a lot more as far as the light and the truth, and how the truth is not relative. The truth is very absolute in the way that we believe. And so, taking off, you've got the ideas that we're going to be showing in these videos that will be popping up on YouTube in the very near future.